It's good to have you back. This is still World Now. And moving on, the U.S. says its military has carried out a massive strike against the Islamic State group in Syria. In response to a deadly attack on American forces in the country, the U.S. Central Command CENTCOM says fighter jets, attack helicopters, and artillery struck more than 70 targets at multiple locations across central Syria. It says the operation employed more than 100 precision munitions targeting known ISIS infrastructure and weapon sites. President Donald Trump says the U.S. is striking very strongly against the ISIS strongholds following the ambush by ISIS on the 13th of December in the city of Palmyra, in which 2 U.S. soldiers and a U.S. civilian interpreter were killed. CENTCOM commander says the U.S. will continue to pursue terrorists who seek to harm Americans and the country's partners across the region relentlessly. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the operation is not the beginning of a war, but a declaration of vengeance. ISIS has not publicly commented. And joining me now from Washington, D.C. to discuss this attack carried out by the U.S. against ISIS is a partner at Gainful Solutions, Stephen Hayes. Hello, Stephen.
Good afternoon. Nice to see you again.
So the United States President Donald Trump has pledged to pursue serious retaliation against ISIS after the killing of 2 American soldiers and a civilian interpreter. Do you think we will be seeing more strikes on Syria due to this threat?
Probably. I can't be definite, of course, but what is happening is that this president and this administration has taken a more traditional view, I guess, of more biblical view. You get hit, you hit hard back. The fact is that 70 attacks at once is massive. So I think the president wants to show the seriousness of the issue. He also wants to protect our troops. So I think it's going to be received fairly positively here in the United States.
And ISIS has reportedly inspired at least 11 plots or attacks against the targets in the U.S. over the past years. Why are the daring attacks continuing, and what signal is ISIS trying to send?
Well, I think ISIS is trying to say that they're still alive. They haven't gone out of existence. And I think the problem is it's creating, I think, a stronger anti-Islamic view here in the United States, which I think is a tragedy. But in fact, I think it's, sorry, I think that it's a problem right now, but for relations between Islam and Christianity in the United States, and I think that's doing some damage to the country. So perhaps that's why they are doing that. I think there's also the traditional views of both the roots of Christianity and Islam of some revenge for an eye for an eye. So I think all that is at the very basic parts of revenge. I think that what is happening is really more sophisticated. I think what's interesting about this is the cooperation now between the Syrian government and the United States. This was unimaginable until now, and with these attacks. So it's indicative of a very changing landscape in the Middle East.
Let's talk about the United States. It launched a military operation that resulted in the death of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, an ISIS leader. Do you think the attacks by the group are retaliatory in this regard?
In some ways, yeah, I do, and that's what I was trying to say so poorly earlier. I think is that the retaliation is an important part of the fundamentalism of ISIS.
President Trump gave as his reasons for the deployment of troops to Syria the need for crackdowns on violent protests over hardship, crime, illegal immigration. And now, do you think that his reasons are valid?
In terms that you're talking a domestic issue now, in terms of immigration, Overall, yes, the issue is valid in the sense that we've had massive illegal immigration, and it's affected the economies, it's affected education, and so forth. We simply haven't had the resources to accommodate that, nor in some parts of the country have we had the will. So is the issue of immigration valid? Yes. Is how he is dealing with it valid? That's another question. I think that from my point of view, there should be a far more humane approach and a more focused one. But nevertheless, the issue of immigration is valid here. The selection, though, of countries based on their religion is, I think, far more questionable. I think it requires a stronger interview process before people come over. So I think that in some ways, President Trump has been positive, or let me say accurate, in terms of demanding a greater screening of people before they come over. I think it's impossible to screen everyone and be 100% correct in terms of their motivation, but nevertheless, there needs to be some improvement on the immigration system. But that is also a global problem everywhere right now.
So, Mr. Hayes, how would you rate the level of diplomatic interest towards achieving peace so far in Syria?
I think I have to give high marks to the U.S. right now. They are looking at President al-Sharaa as a potential ally. That's a big change because he used to be affiliated with al-Qaeda. And I think that what the steps are positive in the sense that they're open to other points of view. They're open to people who are reaching out. The president of Syria has reached out to President Trump. And I think that I've got to give some high marks in terms of that relationship. In terms of accommodating ISIS, I don't think that's possible. And I think everyone else has come to that same conclusion, including the Syrian government, Jordan certainly, which has helped in this attack yesterday, and the United States. I think that this is one of the few examples that I'm seeing that I think is very positive cooperation with governments that we traditionally have not gotten well along with. And I think that it's hard to criticize the steps right now with Syria. I think it's one of the more positive aspects this administration is doing internationally.
Stephen Hayes, all the way from Washington, D.C., thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's always an honor. Thank you.